Good morning sa mga ka-team LDN2, Team 2 ng portfolio, no? Ng teacher's portfolio. So this is our second block session in order for us to continue answering the module 2 activity number 3. Okay, so our first activity is we are going to share your answer in the different activities 1, 2, and 3. I-sharing natin. Okay. Number 1, activity 1.
Module 1, lesson 1.
Module 2. Module 2.
Sige.
Ma'am Jude, please share your answer for activity number 1.
For my activity, module 2 activity number 1, question 1. The closure of schools around the world due to the global pandemic posed serious challenges on the delivery of quality basic education. As a teacher, what do you think are the fundamental concerns in terms of curriculum standards that need to be addressed in order to ensure learning continuity? Cite a specific example. Do you think these concerns could be solved by teachers alone? Why or why not? For me, my answer is, in this time of global pandemic where every sector is affected and education became at stake to continue or not, as a teacher, to ensure learning continuity, different modalities has to be applied to surpass education in these trying times. So example of it is the blended learning modality. These concerns could not be solved by teachers alone because it concerns everyone. It means everyone has to cooperate to make it possible.
Okay, yung i-share ng mga kasama natin, i-jot down natin kasi ilalagay yan natin sa ating module. Kung ano yung i-sharing natin ngayon, yun din ang isasagot natin. Okay, any sharing? Isa na lang, Ma'am Sales, number 1.
Activity 1.
Activity 1, module 2. Share daw yung sagot mo.
Okay, ganun pa rin ang question kay Ma'am Judith, ang answer ko.
Answer na diretso.
This pandemic has been a great challenge to us teachers and to the whole Department of Education as a whole. The greatest challenges as a teacher is the remote learning of the students at this time of pandemic. Some learners even encounter difficulty when facing with a teacher in school. How much more if they answer the question and study the lessons without without the teacher in the school. So with this time, collaboration among the stakeholders should be widely emphasized because of teachers cannot do this alone without everyone's help.
Okay.
Answer. Yes.
Okay, so isama rin natin yung number 1. It means to say, it is really a big problem to us. Itong nangyari sa atin na global pandemic. No? All of us are affected. So let's go with number 2. Sino mag-share? Ma'am Sakina, do you have number 2? Number 2. At Ma'am Judith, number 2.
For my answer number 2, ano na ito siya? Do you agree with this observation? Why or why not? My answer is, I agree with this observation. Indeed, the curriculum is congested. Students can't cope up with all the content standards since every child has different levels of learning.
Okay, so siguro majority tayo, ang sagot natin is?
Yes.
Yes, no? Wala, sinong nag-no? Wala naman siguro nag-no, no? Yes, ang sagot dapat dyan. Okay, let's proceed to activity 2. Activity 2, familiarize yourself with the course reading on the development and design of the MELPs. After going through the document, provide a brief and concise response to the following guide questions. Okay, so hindi na siya i-write kasi na-write na natin, so sharing na tayo. Okay, Ma'am Let, activity 2, number 1. What are the general and specific purposes of the development of MELP?
Okay. Number 1, general purpose. It allows us to keep students on track by testing for misconceptions, and it promotes deeper thought about the subject content. Another one is the specific purpose to develop resilient education systems, especially during emergency, and will enable dapat to focus instruction in the most essential and indispensable competencies. That's it.
Okay, so, di na siguro natin, hindi na ako magtawag ng isa, no? Kasi pare-pareho, halos pare-pareho naman yung sagot natin dyan. Kasi specific and general purpose naman ng MELC. Okay, let's proceed to number 2. Ma'am Samraida, do you have there? Activity 2, number 2. How does curriculum review aid in the identification of essential learning competencies?
Ito ang sagot ko. The Department of Education through the Bureau of Curriculum Development Division, in collaboration with the Assessment and Technology Research Center, or ACTRC, in the middle of 2019 review of MELC.
Okay, so pare-pareho pa rin tayo dyan, no? Let's proceed to number 3. What is the difference between essential learning competencies and desirable learning competencies? Ma'am Sakina, do you have there the difference between essential learning and desirable?
Module 1, Activity 2.
Wala ka pa sa module 2.
Wala.
Okay, sige Ma'am Let. Difference between essential learning and desirable learning.
The difference between the essential learning competencies and the desirable learning process are essential learning competencies is what the students need, considered indispensable in the teaching learning process to build skills to equip learners for subsequent grade levels and subsequently for lifelong learning, while desirable learning were defined as what may enhance education but may not be necessary in building fundamental skills.
Okay, so pare-pareho din ang sagot natin dyan, no? Kumbaga common answer. Number 4, how were the most essential learning competencies identified? What were the decisions made in order to trim down the number of the essential learning competencies? Ate Mabel, Sales.
Okay, my answer. The competencies were identified according to gaps, issues, and concerns across the learning areas and grade levels. The decisions were made due to the limited number of school days allotment at this time of pandemic and should be based solely on the application of real-life situation.
Okay, so yun, dahil sa gap, kaya na-develop yung ating learning competencies. Okay, number 5, what is the importance of MELC ensuring the delivery of quality instruction? Ma'am Kinal, meron ka?
The importance of MELC, it serves as a teacher's guide in preparing his or her lessons and instructional materials, ensures delivery of quality education, instruction as it becomes the primary reference in determining and implementing learning delivery approaches. That's it.
Okay, so next is, dito na tayo sa, we are going to form a group. We are going to form a group and then meron tayong hawak na, anong hawak natin? The curriculum guide and the MELC. So, go to the sections guide, MELCs that are relevant to your instructional needs. Okay, i-copy na natin yun sa notebook natin yun, then i-compare natin. Then nagkaroon na tayo ng sharing ahead of time, no, ng mga ideas kung paano tayo mag-merge, kung paano mag-retain, kung paano mag-drop. Okay, can you share what you have, Ma'am Kinal, sa Filipino subject?
Ano nga tawag dito?
Ano siya, Ma'am? Ano siya? Activity 3. Identifications of the merge, yung mga belt na merge, at saka retain, at saka drop. Na-identify natin. So, isi-share natin ano yung nakuha niyo.
Okay, so sa Filipino team, ito ang aming output. Sa merge namin, ang K-12 ay meron kaming naipon na 3. So, ito siya. Naibabalita ang kasalukuyang kalagayan ng lugar na pinagmula ng alinman sa mga kwentong bayang nabasa, napanood o napakinggan. Pangalawa, naisusulat ang mga patunay na ang kwentong bayan ay salamin ng tradisyon o kaugalian ng lugar na pinagmulan nito. Pangatlo, na iuugnay ang mga pangyayari sa binasa sa mga kaganapan sa iba pang lugar ng bansa. So halos same lang sila ng kaya
Sa merge yan siya, ma'am.
sa
no?
merge.
Merge.
Oo. So nung sa melt na siya, ang naiwan o nabuo na lang doon is nahihinuha ang kaugalian at kalagayang panlipunan ng lugar na pinagmula ng kwentong bayan batay sa mga pangyayari at usapan ng mga tauhan. So related doon lahat sa na-merge. So doon sa retain, syempre kung ano yung nasa milk, yun din ang kinuha namin na retain. Nahihinuha ang kaugalian at kalagayang panlipunan ng lugar na pinagmula ng kwentong bayan batay sa mga pangyayari at usapan ng mga tauhan. Sa Keto 12 yun. Pagdating sa milk, ganun pa din siya. Nahihinuha ang kalagayan at kaugalian at kalagayang panlipunan ng lugar na pinagmula ng kwentong bayan batay sa mga pangyayari at usapan ng mga tauhan. Same lang sila. Nandoon pa din sa K-12 na nandoon din sa milk. Ganun ba yun? Pagdating sa draft namin, ang nilagay namin na ibibigay ang kasing kahulugan at kasalungat na kahulugan ng mga salita ayon sa gamit sa pangungusap. So, yun ang nilagay namin sa draft kasi hindi siya pasok doon sa nahihinuha. Nahihinuha ang kalagayan o kaugaliang panlipunan ng mga lugar na pinagmulan ng kwentong bayan batay sa pangyayari at usapan ng mga tauhan.
Clarification mo. Clarification. Yung ba nakalagay sa milk ninyo na nahihinuha, yun din ang nilagay ninyo sa retain?
Retain.
Pareho sila? Ibig sabihin, ma'am, hindi siya pwedeng malagay kung merong kung merge ito siya,
Hindi siya pwedeng
hindi
gamitin.
na siya pwede sa retain.
Hindi na siya gamitin ulit.
Dapat ibang
Ang retain yung
CG naman
siya na naiwan. Naiwan na hindi nasali sa...
Ibig sabihin hindi siya related doon sa
dapat iba na naman na
competencies.
competency ang ilagay ninyo sa retain na makita doon sa milk na as is.
Pag nagamit na, hindi na siya ibalik ulit.
Hindi mo siya
Kasi na-identify naman siya.
Kung nakita niyo siya doon sa merge, and kung meron siya sa milk, tapos meron din siya doon sa CG, the same wordings, the same pareho, pati yung code, ibig sabihin, nabilong niya siya sa retain, hindi siya sa merge.
Sige, ano na lang, iayos na lang yun siya.
Ayos na lang.
At least na, okay, thank you Ma'am Judith. At least nakita
Salamat,
natin
Ma'am
yung ating discrepancies, no? Okay, let's proceed to the English subject, Ma'am Judith. Kindly share your merge, retain, and draft in English subject.
Ang sa draft ko, wala akong sulat yung draft ko. Pero sa merge ko, first identified ko na merge from K-12 learning competency is yung code number EN7VC1D6. Identify the genre of a material viewed such as movie clip, trailer, news flash, internet-based program, documentary, video, etc. And EN7VC-1-F-9 organize information from a material view. Ang na-merge niya into milk, identify the genre, purpose, intended audience, and features of various viewed texts such as movie clip, trailer, news flash, internet-based program, documentary, and video. Kumbaga pa, sa LC, sa curriculum guide ng K-12 original, yung organize ng information from a material viewed is pareho lang sa as one din siya doon sa sa movie clip, sa genre ng material.
Continuous, continuous.
Ito lang Sakina. Para ibang angle ka naman.
Oo nga. Masyado nyo na po.
Tapos, landscape.
Ganyan.
Kasi pag forklift, Ma'am Jude, ilan na na-identify mo na yung sa CG, yung merge and drop, at saka yung
Actually, nag-merge and drop ay lahat ng nasa milk, in-identify ko yung merge and retain.
ready.
Tapos,
First
yung drop,
quarter na.
hindi ko sinulat kasi yung drop kasi, pag isulat ko pa siya ma'am, doon sa hundreds na curriculum guide,
Pwede siya na.
tapos ngayon ang milk is nag-reflect na sa mga ano na lang, tag-walo na lang sa per quarter. So,
Pero pwede
marami
siguro
masyadong
maglagay
maglagay
isang drop lang. Pwede siya na.
Opo, maglagay na lang ako ng additional na drop. Tapos,
Okay.
okay na yun.
Basta ma'am.
Ang retain ko, sample ko ng retain, is nasa LC, supply other words or expressions that complete an analogy. Tapos doon sa milk, as is siya na nakalagay, supply other words or expressions that complete an analogy. The same sila ng quotes.
Okay, so, okay na ma'am. Okay na tayo, Ma'am Jude. So, let's proceed now to the unpacking and combining
O
of
first quarter na
objectives.
ready mo, Ma'am Jude.
Meron pa. Okay, can we
Bali, wala
proceed?
pa yung
Sige ma'am, ano lang, queries mo. Ano ba?
Bali, wala pa yung second, third, and fourth. First quarter lang yan siya na kwan.
Sa first quarter, sa beginning kasi sinimulan ko para organize siya, kinuha ko yung simula ng first quarter.
Okay, okay naman. Okay, so next is, we have an activity of unpacking and combining milks for the first quarter only. So since we already have also the groupings and discussion ahead, so let's proceed to the presentation of the unpacked and combined milk. Okay, let's proceed to Ma'am Sales, Filipino subject.
Sa unpacking of milk, meron kaming isang competency. Ito yung number 1, nagagamit ng wasto ang mga pahayag sa pagbibigay ng mga patunay. Then, ginawa namin ng layunin. Dalawang layunin, ito yung nagagamit ang mga salita o pahayag sa pagbibigay ng patunay sa pagsulat ng kwentong bayan. At pangalawa, nagagamit ang mga salita o pahayag sa pagbibigay ng patunay sa pagbuo ng makabuluhang pangungusap. Din sa aming gemerge, merong dalawa, maling sa milk. Ito yung nahihinuha ang kaugalian at kalagayang panlipunan ng lugar na pinagmula ng kwentong bayan batay sa mga pangyayari at usapan ng mga tauhan. At ang pangalawa, nahihinuha ang kalabasan ng mga pangyayari batay sa akdang na pakinggan. Dalawang competency emerge.
Yan ay, wala anong masasabi nyo sa di-unpack ni Ma'am Salas, Ma'am Jude, okay na?
Tama tayo, Ma'am Jude.
Tayo i-combine niya. Okay, sige. Since wala nang tanong, punta tayo sa English subject para sa unpack and combine milk ni Ma'am Judith again.
Sa
Ma'am Jude?
unpacking of milk sa akin, sa quarter 1, ang milk is use the passive and active voice meaningfully in varied contexts. Yun ang pinili ko na milk. And then sa learning objectives na para sa akin na pwedeng ma-unpack galing doon sa competency na yun is define passive and active voice, kasi if we don't know how to define passive and active voice, hindi tayo makagamit ng passive and active voice. Recognize the passive and active voice in a context, compare passive and active voice, and then write sentences using passive and active voice. Okay lang yan mga sakit.
Ma'am, pwede daw tayo mag-agree, deliberation tayo, then arrive at a consensus. Kailangan pare-pareho yung gawain natin. How about doon sa unpacking of milk? Diba, tayo man na mag-create ng objective. So, ilang objective possible ang gawain natin? 2, 1, 3, Para at least pare-pareho tayo.
Dalawa kahit dalawa.
Depende siguro sa sa
Kahit
magawa.
ano na lang,
Oo.
kahit ilan, kahit ilan.
Oo.
Kahit ilan na lang ang magawa.
Basta
Depende
sobra
sa
isa.
subject siguro.
Sobra isa.
Sige, yun. So, yun na yung napag-agrihan natin. Sa unpacking, kahit ilan na lang.
Ilang objectives.
Kailan, Ma'am Lep?
Oo.
Okay lang.
Ilang
Kita ka
buwan,
dyan,
ilang
Ma'am
meals
Lep.
ang gagawin.
Okay. So, that's it for today. Yung ating
Pareho
discussion.
na tayo.
So, ito yung ating lab for today na lang. Hanggang dito na lang. Magkakaroon tayo ng next na lab sa after 3A na naman. 3A. So, sagutin. Pag mag-disperse tayo ngayon, sagutan natin ang 3A. Then another lab na naman tayo. So, kailan tayo pwede mag-lab ulit? For the module 3A. Hindi tayo makaproceed sa 3B kung hindi tayo makalap sa 3A.
Paano mag-set mong do?
Tawag ka lang.
Kayo kasi, ano man, deadline na biyahin sa 29. So, kayo yung tinatanong ko, kailan natin kaya yung 3A? Jude, any suggestion? Anong date na ngayon?
Then virtual bukas.
Bukas din.
26, bukas.
Virtual.
So, bali, situate natin na mag-virtual tayo. Parang mas marami pa man ang virtual kaysa face-to-face. Akala ko mas marami ang face-to-face. Parang bumaliktad. Akala ko signal ang problema sa squad. Mas marami ang
Kasi
virtual.
nakakataw na umulan.
So, virtual na lang tayo, ma'am. Then, tomorrow, kaya ba natin ang 3A bukas na agad? Ang tanong.
Output?
Oo.
Hindi ko lang scan kung ano.
Oo, kasi hindi tayo makalock ng ano,
Hindi pa nare-review.
pag hindi matapos yung 3A natin, hindi tayo makalock.
Ganun ba?
Kailangan tapusin 3A, then lock ulit.
Kung mahaba pa naman masyado ang training, marami ng
Hindi. Hindi tayo pwede mag-proceed sa 3B. Pag walang lock sa 3A.
Ano kaya bukas?
Wednesday na lang.
Ha?
Wednesday na lang.
O Wednesday, sige, Wednesday, sige, target date natin yun. As long as na, isa na lang man, matapos natin yung isang lock, wala na.
Last na lang.
Oo,
sa TV.
dire-diretsuhin na natin tapusin. Ano kasi siya, yung may process ng conduct ng lock. Kailangan, based doon sa module na, sagutan natin. Di ba, Jud? Related sa module natin. Sige, Wednesday.
Distance.
Sige, PM lang tayo virtual. Ha? Okay, so that's all for today. Meeting adjourned.
Ilang time?
Anong time?
Nine.
Nine. Nine. Nine. Nine. Nine. Nine. Nine. Nine. Nine.